to restore Pokemon, TCG, and sports cards here on the Cardboard Alchemist podcast. And now here are your hosts, Giovanni and Sebastian.
Welcome to Cardboard Alchemist.
Welcome, guys. It's another good episode here with me and Giovanni himself.
Somebody was telling me they're sick and tired of seeing the ring light in my glasses, but I don't know.
Well, haters gonna hate. They're gonna see that ring light all the time.
I know, right?
So you're gonna see that reflection on my eyes too.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. It's like staring into the sun every time we have to record, but we're doing it for you guys.
We want the best lighting with everything, with showing cards, with everything, with focusing and coming back over here. We want the best quality for all of you guys.
So today's episode is going to talk about dings. And basically, it's one of those things that I think we maybe lightly covered in a couple episodes in the past, but I wanted to dedicate an episode to, what to look at, steps I take and you take to fix dings. And when I say dings, I mean like lifted edges, corners, what you can fix, what you can't fix. And maybe we'll go into some other oddities with all of that as well. One of them that I think I want to talk about in the Patreon is advanced humidor setups. We got somebody that asked in the Patreon, like, how do you set up your humidor and stuff like that? And I'm going to be selling these pretty soon on the website, but you can pick up these like scale things. There's a ton of different things. Some people use ETB
or
dice.
Dice. Yeah, I use dice.
Yeah, and those are fine. But we'll dive into that in the Patreon. But so for the public here, let's just cover the basics here for dings. And then we'll talk about some more advanced methods in the Patreon. But like there's these tools I was kind of messing around with too. One of these is pretty good for dings, but the other isn't. You can guess which, but we'll talk about that later. So for a basic ding, I mean, how many, it's funny, how many cards that you go through, Sebastian, that like you'll see something that the client didn't even tell you, and most of the time it's like a dinged corner?
Well, most of the time, like all the time, I usually get, sometimes our clients send us pictures, and sometimes we always ask for, send the most clearest picture possible so you can, notice anything, or even like a slight video that shows every, every corner of the card, like this, we want to make sure we can see any type of thing that's going on with the card. So, yeah, I go through a lot. Sometimes there was a whole order where I was supposed to do just nothing but cleanings. But then when I got them and I inspected them, each of them had lifted corners, either a little dent, vice versa. That, sometimes, I don't blame the client either, because he doesn't know what they're looking for. Since we've been doing this for a while now, we already know what we're looking for. So, how many times do you go through it? A lot.
I had a client that sent me a Shining Gyarados. I wonder, let me see if I have the photos, but they sent me, it was like one of the corners was bent, and unfortunately it was bent pretty bad.
Pretty bad? Was it, did it go through the back as well?
It did not go through the back, but the problem is it was on the front, but it was so bad on the front. It was bent so hard, or whatever happened to this card, literally like the paper layer where the crease was like cratered out, meaning like fibers just weren't connecting to each other anymore. So it was weird, like it was super flimsy, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get you. So like when you flattened it, it was flat, and then all of a sudden like there was like a slight little curve right in the end.
Yeah. And but anyway, they send me the corner. They're like, hey, can you fix this corner or whatever, or that like bend? And I'm like, sure. But what they didn't show me, what they didn't notice, was the ding that was in the corner. So here's the card here, and I don't know if I didn't take a picture of the crease I was talking about. I should have, but it's this bad boy. So Shining Gyarados
I
first
love
ed.
that card. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
first ed too.
Yeah, so the corner up here was like, so I flattened it. I did everything humanly possible. The problem is there was like missing paint on that corner. So you see that little white line right there?
Wait a minute. That card looks familiar.
I posted it on my stories, so you may have seen it there.
No.
You worked on this card before?
It's because I did work on a first ed Gyarados that had a similar mark right there.
The only reason I don't think you worked on this is unless they screwed up. Is here? Look at this corner. So see that little ding right there?
Yeah, I see it.
So they never noticed it. They sent me the card going fix that crease, but when I actually inspected the card, I noticed this ding. Which this is perfect because
it's just a lifted corner, which is so. I love those because those are the easiest to work on and it's easiest to flatten.
Right. So it's one of those things where it's like easy to fix, and we'll show you how here. But sometimes people will look at a card. For example, this one here. Let me see if I can get this guy to focus. But there is a little white speck right there. You see that white speck? It's probably hard to tell. I'll try to zoom in.
Oh, there you go. Right there. Perfect.
But yeah, there's a little white speck right there. Some people are like, oh no, it's missing paint. But it's actually, and we'll fix this here in a minute, it's actually just a lifted edge. And if we just push down that lifted edge,
everything goes back to normal.
The only ethical way to fix whitening.
Yeah, right? For sure. Oh my God.
So
we totally don't have any gold paint or blue paint in the corner.
Yeah, I never like to work on dings or anything like that dry. I always throw some humidity on there.
Yeah.
But you don't need to go to town on it. You don't need to throw it in a humidor or humidity storm it. You just need one of these. Dude, you got one too? Yeah. The only thing about these, I like the ones that bend like this because you don't have to feel like you're just holding it straight. I
know.
Like that,
I'm like.
But yeah, I know, right? And I made the same mistake as you, Sebastian, where I blew so much that like condensation built up in here, and it started like raining out of it. You know what I mean? It was like drool.
I remember that one time when that happened. I was in my head. I just thought everything was over. I'm like, no. Yeah. I tried stopping it. I was like, no.
So yeah, so you got to be a little careful.
Yeah, don't blow too hard.
It's one of those things where, give it enough. And some people have this like train of thought too about putting it in a sleeve, which is fine. You can do that. Usually what I'll do is I'll find the corner that is lifted. So like this case here, and I'll put it into the sleeve, but I'll leave this part out like this. I'll blow on it and then I'll stuff it in and then work on the crease. Or not crease, but the lifted edge, Yeah. I do like the other, I'll show you these like large penny sleeves that I usually use for grading, but they're like way thicker.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, just because you're not too nervous about adding whitening by like getting in, like that one was a perfect fit sleeve, so it's a little tight, but these ones, it's a little wider and you can kind of sneak in the straw into there, right? And another thing I like to do that we'll talk about in the page is like cutting the corner of the penny sleeve off and putting it in the humidor like that. That way you're not humidifying the whole card. You're kind of just focusing on one spot.
That's so interesting. I never really even thought about that.
Yeah, but I'll talk more about that because there's some caveats to that. But yeah, so let's jump right into it, I guess. So what card do you have there? Let me see that one again.
So right now, this is the client's card that I have right here. This is the only last one that I need left to complete the order. So I was like, you know what? It has a couple dings. I can show it on the page. I can show it on the public. So see how we do it here at the Poke Cleaning Shop.
Yeah, let's do it. You can work on yours first, and then I'll switch to mine.
For show. Let's see. It's so weird because it kind of looks like it's like I don't know. Can you see that? It looks like it's like in the water or something.
Yeah, it looks like it's hollow on the back.
It is. This is a limited edition 1/1 Gengar.
Have you seen there is one Pokemon card out there that actually has a hollow back?
It's the Japanese one. It's a trade with friends or something like that.
Trade with friends or something, yeah.
I've been wanting that one for a while because I really like the back. Like even if it's just the back, I mean, it's an error card, you know?
Yeah, of course you want that card, Sebastian. You want every card.
No, not all of them. Just some. Just expensive ones.
I like that card though. I will say
it's cool.
That's a really cool card.
If I ever get that card and I just like I'll just like show the back off on my binder. I wouldn't even show the front.
Right. Yeah, I know.
I mean, everybody already knows what that one is. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Let's get the show on the road. Let's get this right here.
And then I got this other question that came up, which they were talking about some reverse hollows, more the EX era that have like lifted edges on the front.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for those, I've had a lot of luck with just like humidifying the card, sleeving the card up, and then just using the card tool to just push around the entire, card like that. Just kind of going around the whole card. But sometimes lifted edges may require the heat pen if they're like stretched really bad. If like the plastic stretches.
What the hell? I did not even show the spot. Hold on. There you go.
Oh, that's a good idea to put the parchment underneath.
Yeah, I always do. I've been doing it lately, and it's been working really good. Let me see. Where's the ding at? I'm looking for that ding. It's right there. Right here. Let me see if I can focus. There you go. You see that?
Yeah.
So it's tiny. It's a tiny little thing. So now what I'm going to do is I like to get my straw, my handy dandy straw, and just blow.
Yeah,
and what you're seeing there is just all the condensation and all the humidity just hitting that target area.
Yeah, I like to, after I'll blow on it for maybe 30, 60 seconds, enough to where there's a decent amount. Then I'll throw it into a penny sleeve super quick and work on it ASAP. Because I feel like the humidity escapes pretty quickly. I mean, what do you think?
A little bit. That's why I kind of like this, so I can kind of get embedded a little bit inside, so I can kind of absorb it. I mean, maybe that's my theory.
Like pushing it into the card?
Yeah, like you see that? So I just go like this. A little bit in there.
Not a bad idea.
Okay, once that's done, I like to get my penny sleeve, put it there, and just work on it little by little like that. I've seen, I don't know if it was you or Salvo, but I've seen like this type of stuff going on like that too. But I like to get the point and just, sometimes you do got to be careful with the point. Don't put too much pressure. Just lightly do it like that. Little circular motions, and then just going like this.
Yeah, don't be nervous pushing down too hard because
you're going to have to put firm pressure.
Yeah, when you flatten it out, it should puff back up. You know what I mean?
So let's check it out now. It's still there. So with stuff like that, you're going to have to press it for sure.
Yeah.
There's another way too, and I've talked about it before. I know sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but using a heat pen, but of course with the vinyl, you can just flatten that area out with the vinyl and the heat pen dry, and it works pretty good too.
Yeah. On the back, you mean?
On the back, yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Look,
let me see. I think as long as
test
you're
it
not
on this card. Let me see if I have another card.
As long as you're not holding the button too long, I think it's probably fine. You just want to be careful of like glossing over
the back.
The problem with the vinyls, actually, I don't even think it's the vinyls. It's like sometimes there's too much humidity in the card, or the type of vinyl you're using has a silicone layer on it that can transfer onto the card.
Yeah, and then it can leave that glossy look.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm dealing with a case right now where I humidified a card. I worked on it with the heat pen, and I pressed it. But when I pressed it so hard that the back of it was glossy in that corner, which I know it's going to get popped for pressing. So I'm trying to figure out a way right now through some experiments on some cheaper cards, like how can I get rid of that? So
I know. I was noticing when with some Japanese cards, I've been noticing it more like in the, whether Gold Star era, like like vintage / going into modern. I noticed that the backs are more shinier than the modern one. Is that like a occurring thing, or is that because of pressing?
Japanese?
Yeah.
It's weird. I've had people say like their cards getting popped for pressing, especially with Beckett. Mm-hmm. And most of those they're saying are Japanese, but I think like cards in general are getting popped more for altering, and I have two theories about that. One, more people are doing this, so the grading companies are getting more nervous about it. But my conspiracy theory is that it's a way for these grading companies to make double, if not triple, or whatever off of a super expensive card.
Oh yeah, definitely. So that I agree on.
There's an article about this N5. In fact, Haley, TCG Wizardry, sent me this, where it's basically somebody complaining, like, I sent a whole bunch of cards, everything came back fine, except
there was one person on Instagram that posted his PSA, allegedly PSA submissions, and most of them came back popped as altered or N5s. Only a majority of them, like maybe like 5 or 6, actually graded, but all the rest were N5s, man.
Yeah, so I'll share my screen while you're working on that card here.
There you go. Nice. Look at that.
Yeah, and you used the straw again on that, right?
Yeah, I continued. Don't stop. Continue on it. Yeah, look, see.
Heck yeah. Yeah, so this is the article here, or not article, but the Reddit post 3 days ago. Lately, I've been getting a bunch of cards sent back as N5 altered from PSA. I'm not the only one either. I know quite a few people who've been having this happen to them as well. I even sent a pack fresh card I pulled, and it was marked as altered. It's primarily happening on the most valuable cards. Anyone else experiencing this? And, some people are saying they never seen that, blah, blah, blah. In my personal experience, I know on the sports side of things, my dad sent a bunch of cards that were, he hasn't trimmed them or done anything. They're all from the 90s, and he's like the first owner on some of these. And he got an N5 on I don't know if it was N5 or it's not N5. There's a different one for not factory size or something, like basically.
And that's N8, isn't it?
It might be N8, yeah. So I take that back. It's not an N5, but it seems weird. Like N5 altered stock and humidors. I took a card out of a plastic acrylic screw down card holder, sent it into PSA, and got an N5 altered stock grade. I've been reading that. What I can figure out with next steps, I'll send into SGC for what it's worth. But somebody can explain. What are you trying to do is get a card to absorb a small amount of humidity that happens. Okay, so some dude's like explaining it basically. Explaining. There's a guy called Kurt's Card Care. Shout out Kurt. That was an awesome episode last week. that goes way more aggressive than just a humidifier. However, a large portion of this hobby, including grading companies, considers what he does as modification. Well, this doesn't explain at all altered stock. I guess when he was saying screw down flattener, remember when Kurt was saying those screw down flatteners like this right here can leave a shiny?
Like on the corners? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm dealing with on that card that I used the heat pen on. And one of the corners is shined, and I have a feeling that they're starting to look at this a little bit more. But, I don't know. It's weird. So I had a client. I fixed I don't want to show it actually because it shows their cert, but it's a PSA 5 Gold Star Charizard. And it was creased to all hell. And I fixed I reduced a lot of the creases. There was a couple that I couldn't completely get rid of, but it probably would have graded a 2 or 3. I'm surprised it got a 5, but I think I remember that card having a somewhat of a glossy spot on the front I was kind of worried about. So it's kind of funny that they missed that or didn't care. But I bet the back is the one that, since it's paper, that shine is way more obvious. Whereas the front, it's hollow, or whatever, and can hide it a little bit.
So I was gonna mention sometimes you do got to be careful, especially with the heat pen, because you can gloss the front, but when you gloss the front, check the back. You're gonna notice that how the whole varnish is like a semi gloss, semi matte finish.
Yeah.
Well, that particular area that's burnt or glossy in the front, when you turn around, it's going to be matte. Basically, I don't know if you've seen that before.
Yeah, I've seen both. It's weird. I have seen both where it's either glossy or it's too dull.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what happens. So you guys need to be careful. But that's why we say do, intervals of 3 to 5 seconds. Don't get it too hot. Just be careful. And just make sure that doesn't happen. Because once that happens, there's no way of reversing that.
Yeah. We should do a measurements episode one day where we do how much time in the humidor and how much weight is added to the card. Salvo did a really cool video on that.
Oh, yeah. I love that. That one was a nice video where he did it for a couple hours. So he did it for a certain amount of hours. This is how much it weighed. And then did that experiment. I guess he left it there for 2 days max. And then it went up to I don't know how much it started weighing. But that was a very cool experiment.
But yeah, my wife's going for a psychology degree right now. And she was taking an exam right now that showed experimentation. So one of her classes talks about experimentation and how to structure an experiment. And it was kind of interesting, peeking over her shoulder because.
And you said this is psychology?
Yeah.
Dude, psychology is really good. I remember I had this professor. I still remember because he was one of the best professors I've had. He explained everything very well. So I took psychology in college, and he explained a lot of how a lot of past things or a lot of things. I just can't explain it because it's been so long. But his name was Professor Weber. I remember his name, and he is one of the coolest dudes. Very, very intellectual with his things, with experiments, how he did everything with experimenting. And wow, I missed that class.
That's that kind of point I'm making about the next experiment episode we should do. I'd like to hone in. Why does a card get dull? Why does a card get glossy? Is it for example, different mediums that I play with, right? I've got this new stuff I've been experimenting with, which is it's like the acetate. It's like this stuff here, right? The vinyl that comes with the heat pen right now, but it's a little thinner. And then there's this, obviously the good old tried and true. But then there's also this, which is silicone release paper. It's almost like thermal paper. Double-sided silicone. The problem with this is this can transfer onto the card. I've had it happen before.
Because of the silicone.
Yeah, so that glossy kind of layer can pop off. But anyway, we'll do another episode about that. So lifted edges. So One thing, so for example, I'll fix this one real quick, but I'll show you. So we've got this dinged corner here. I don't know if I can kind of get it to focus in on this. Come on, baby. There you go.
There you go. It's going. It's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah. So that guy right there in that corner. And here's what we're gonna do is put it into the large penny sleeve. And I'll get the straw here. And right on that dented corner there, just slide this right over.
Go bake the card. That's what we're gonna do.
I feel like it traps the moisture a little bit better.
Yeah, it does. Because once you see it's fogging up, way better because it's more direct. Especially on that corner. It's like right there hitting that corner.
Yeah, exactly. There's even, I can see the condensation kind of building up right
in the
there.
back, yeah.
I feel like when I do this, by the way, I kind of like try to go from the bottom of my lungs or something, like to get heat, but it's
like you do like real deep right here, like you open it up here more, right? Like you feel like you just open it up, in the same way.
Yeah. So okay, I got some humidity in there. I can see it, and there's that bad boy. Let me get a little closer here for you guys. So, yeah, so the humidity is almost gone now. Let me give it one more blow and then we'll work on it. Okay. And then you want to tackle it from the inside out.
Like when you use the card tool, like do you just use the flat? Because I don't know, because sometimes I use it like in an angle, but I usually just tackle it with like just flat and just like try to just do that instead of like.
Yeah. You mean flat? What do you mean by flat? Like try to
so the card's like that, right? I just do it like this. I just do this like the flat surface because I noticed like I think I saw Salvo kind of like do it in an angle, or I don't know if it was you or Salvo, but like in an angle, and he does it like this, or he kind of like goes all around.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would much prefer you doing it flat like you're talking about, because I think at an angle, the problem with that,
you can indent it.
You can indent it, yeah. So it looks like if I flattened it, but there's actually paint missing from this card. That sucks. So I should have double checked this card before I worked on it. But anyway, I was trying to show an example of like a card that has a thing that you could fix whitening on, but it actually looks like this did have whitening on it. But there is one other tool. Sometimes what I like to try to do is I'll take this tool here. And I'll talk about where I got this in the page, but I'll just double check, like, is it rolled over or is it actually missing paint? I can tell I can't catch on to anything here.
Yeah, because if you catch on right away, it'll just flip over and it'll cover that white.
Exactly, yeah. But it looks like it's completely missing there. Yeah, bummer. But yeah, at least it's flat. Like it was dinged, and now at least it's nice and even. So that's how you would do that. And by the way, don't forget to inspect your cards that you're submitting for grading, because
always inspect.
They will ding that. And sometimes it can be a pretty harsh grade for something as simple as just like a dinged corner like that. So here's another one here. This one's a little harder to see just because it's a lot smaller. But you can see this little white edge right there. That actually can be fixed. And that I don't think is whitening. So let's fix that one.
This is where we insert
I'll
cool
try.
music.
Yeah, I know, right? This is where, like, when it's a tight corner like this, I will try to catch it, like, right here a little bit, just to kind of get it up and over to flatten out. And there we go. Yeah, that came out pretty good, actually.
Hell yeah, Spank speaking, can't even speak. Spank clean and everything. Now that's a PSA 10 right there.
Yeah. So something as simple as that could hold you back from a 10, right?
Yeah, anything can hold you back now, to be honest.
I know, right? You could have a pack fresh card apparently, and it's altered.
Dude, I had one time, my first submission with Beckett ever, I had pack fresh cards. My Flareon Japanese Jungle, like it's a Japanese Jungle set. I pulled a Flareon. I sent it right away. I didn't even know about cleaning or anything. Came back a 9, BGS 9. But the same card that I pulled, I like put a whole bunch of random cards in there. A freaking Weeping Bell, bro. A Weeping Bell. Is it Weeping Bell? Or Bell? No, a Bellsprout. A Bellsprout got a 9.5.
Wow.
Same from the same pack. I'm like,
I know, right? One thing is especially with something that's vintage, especially. In fact, a perfect example was that Gengar you're working on, where you try and fix the lifted edge, and it was so stubborn that you're going to need to flatten the bad boy, right? So whether it's the screw down flatteners or the flattening kit, you know, you're going to need a little bit of extra elbow grease, and we're going to talk about that in the Patreon. So jump in the page. We have an awesome group of people in there and just some new cool benefits. I've been starting to post fixable cards in the fixable cards channel. So every day I go through eBay and I look for cards that have profit potential. I've been starting to post those there. People claimed on it, so nobody overbids everybody.
Yeah.
So we're trying to collude a little bit, you know what I mean? But that's been a lot of fun. And then we just have like a great chat there with a bunch of people. And plus now we've got 15 episodes of exclusive bonus content that's not viewable here on YouTube. So we have humidors, which we'll dive into a little bit more advanced humidor stuff here in the Patreon episode coming up. We also have news that's not necessarily public that we talk about. We have super advanced methods that we're starting to experiment with and some stuff you can start using today. And it's a lot of fun. So we'll talk about all that kind of good stuff here in a little bit. So
yeah, mine don't do that. Look at that. Yeah. All the strength that I can.
So use code PokeMaster. You'll save 10% on your first month. And get in the page, and you can chat with Sebastian and I. And
come join us and chat with the cool community that we have in that. And remember, guys, that Groudon that you guys see, I already claimed it. You guys can't bid over it.
and by the way, there's 2 other things I wanted to mention. One, we're going to start doing monthly. One of the bonus episodes is actually going to be a monthly live episode.
Oh, so, yeah, we get to speak with either. How many people can join? Just one?
I don't know. We haven't done it before, so we're going to try it and see what it's like. I have a feeling it's going to be a ton of fun because...
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk to each and every one of you guys.
Going live on Instagram and stuff, it's just you have a bunch of... I don't know. There's obviously the awesome OGs and the fans, but every now and then you get the looky-loos or the haters that pop in, and that's no fun. But everyone in the page... is G's. Like, we're gonna be talking like super cool stuff in there and not having to deal with any of
haters.
That crap. Yeah, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. And we also came out with a new tier. I believe this tier, I think it's called Master Alchemist. Pardon me, because we added a whole bunch of tiers. One of them is the Grandfather Alchemist tier. I talked about this at the end of Kurt's episode, but we have 162 early supporters. It ends at 188. meaning there's only 188 spots for the early supporters. After that's gone, it's gone, meaning you then need to pay $10 more a month to get into the Young Alchemist episode. Reason being is because the early supporters, we want to give them a benefit for being an awesome early supporter of ours. And in the tier above Young Alchemists is the Master Alchemist tier. That tier allows you to feature your social media handle at the end of every episode. In fact, we already have our first member.
I know.
For
I was
that
about
tier.
to say that.
So if you are a card restoration, enthusiast and you want to promote your business or whatever, maybe you just like sell Pokemon and you want to promote your business or whatever, drop it here at the end. We will show everyone's credits of everyone that's in the Master Alchemist tier. And we appreciate everybody's support. Like, thank you so much. I know some people, they're like, dude, I'm broke. Like, my wife divorced me. I'm like lost my job. I can't afford it. And I'm like, dude, like, that's why we got the public episodes. And if you got questions, sometimes I've just sent the Patreon episode for free to some people. Like, if you're legit broke, just DM me and I'll try and hook you up. You know what I mean? Like, I know
we love to help each other out here, guys.
Yeah. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see everybody in the page.
Let's go. Let's go into the darkness of the page.
The Cardboard Alchemist darkness.